Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. We are doing something a little bit new tonight. We are also doing the podcast for APWF, Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. So it's going to be a little different tonight. We're having an interview with Buck Wild, Thomas Kennedy, here in a few short moments. Jay, what's going on?
What's going on with you, man? We haven't done an interview in a while. This is pretty exciting in my book.
This is, yeah, this is the first one for 2024,
Yeah,
and we're almost 5 months in.
yeah, right. And I don't have to see Reese
Yeah,
tonight.
that's nice, isn't it?
It's goddamn beautiful.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, like I said, we are also doing this for APWF. As you can see here, that is the awesome logo. And then also on June 23rd, we got this awesome show coming up, which our guest is going to be on that show. But, as you can see, we got EC3, we got Big Time Bill Collier, we got a whole bunch of different awesome indie guys. You notice I said indie, Jay. Indie.
It,
Indie.
yeah. Well, that they're all independent contractors.
Yeah.
There was I saw Spencer Slade on there. I saw the Rad Boys, um, TME. A
Yeah.
lot of a lot of big names from the East Coast that are gonna make this show top to bottom. The card's gonna be badass. This might be the best indie show you see all year.
Absolutely. And don't forget, we got a whole bunch of New York boys coming down for the show, including Thomas Kennedy, uh, Matt McCoy, PJ Savage. I believe I didn't forget anybody. If I did, I apologize. I can't remember names too well. But anyway, Jay, let's bring on a Buck Wild.
Well, I just
Uh,
want to ask you. I just want to ask you a quick question. When it
Nothing's quick
pertains,
with you.
what well, some things are. You can ask my fiance. Um,
Come on, guy.
so the guy on the logo for the APWF is that is that um Bubba Brewer with his
Spit it
face
out,
taken off?
Junior. That's him. That
That's
is him.
you know what, son of a bitch, I thought so.
Yes, yes. All right, let's bring him on. Buck Wild, what's
How
going
you
on?
doing, guys? How's it going? You
Good,
guys
man.
can
Good.
see me pretty good, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Welcome to Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk and also APWF Wrestling.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, I got to ask real quick. Buck
Mhm.
Wild, where'd you come up with that at?
Buck
Story
Wild.
behind?
Yeah. So, pretty much, when I started out wrestling, I started out just like how pretty much any new wrestler that comes into independent wrestling. I was still trying to kind of like find, especially, guess I could say probably trying to find like I don't know the best way to explain it. Um, Try to find my mark in wrestling, kind of just like find what would help work best for me. And at first, when I started out, I was pretty much just trying to pretend to be something I wasn't, something that I thought would relate to the fans, which I ended up learning the hard way that if you don't believe it, they're not going to believe it either. Um, so I had to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. And, coming from a family from the South, I said my grandma and my pappy, um, they're from Salisbury, North Carolina. My uncles, they're from Salisbury, North Carolina. I have my late uncle used to live in West Virginia. I've had uncles that lived in Pennsylvania, so they've all lived on the whole pretty much southern East Coast, all the way down to Tennessee, Georgia.
Oh, very nice.
Still here? Seeing there we go. All right. So for me, it was just more so I felt like I could relate more if I was just myself, because they see me showing up to shows, wearing cowboy boots and jeans and, trucker hats and stuff like that. And then they see me coming out the ring trying to be something that I wasn't, So 2023, right at the beginning of the year, I decided, just go full blown with the whole Buck Wild thing. I listen to a lot of country rap, like Damon Jones, Upchurch, and stuff like that. And I heard it in a song once, and I was, I don't think anybody's using Buck Wild like in wrestling. I'm like, so that's kind of original, right?
Yeah. Very cool. Myself, I also like country music, but I ain't gonna say
Okay.
somebody else that's on this podcast does not like country music. I won't mention anybody's names.
Hey, it's okay. Everybody's got their flavor. Everybody's got their flavor. There's nothing wrong with it.
I've just been introduced to country rap, and I can't
Okay.
say that I can't say that I hate it.
All right.
Um,
I think Jelly Roll has a lot to do with more people getting involved with country rap and giving it a chance.
I think
Because
you're
that's how he
correct.
that's how he got his start. Because a lot of people don't know that. They hear a lot of his stuff he puts on the radio now, and then you look him up on Spotify and you listen to some songs you wouldn't expect him to be singing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Very
Yep.
cool. So, um, Thomas, what
Mhm.
was your first memory? I'm sorry, not first memory. What age did you first get interested into pro wrestling?
Oh, that's easy. 8 years old. At the time, I was living with my aunt and my uncle, and my uncle used to watch WCW and WWE. Used to flip back and forth. He had his little man cave set up downstairs in the basement. At the time, my bedtime was 9 o'clock, so WCW was coming on at 8. So I got to watch the first hour of WCW with him for the first hour before I had to go to bed to get ready for school the next morning. And some of the memories for me that really stuck with me from my childhood was like the NWO, Outsiders, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Sting. Sting was a huge influencer for me. I remember growing up watching Sting and just being mesmerized with like his character when he went to the Crow, coming out of the rafters and stuff like that. I just never seen nothing like it.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
nor did a lot of people. Actually, that right around that time, that
Mm.
that was the 5 or 6 best years Larry spent in 10th grade. I don't know if you know that or not, but
I did not.
Yeah, you mentioned the NWO. We're very
Mhm.
big on Scott Hall. On the podcast. Myself, uh,
Mhm.
Jay. We collect a lot of Scott Hall figures and stuff like that. So Scott Hall was, big on us. When we were growing up.
Yeah.
yeah, Scott Hall was well represented in our homes and in between our walls.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even
I feel like. No, go ahead.
I said even now at 45 years old, we still collect Scott Hall shit.
Yeah. I
They
feel
keep
like Scott Hall's. Oh, go ahead. What were we gonna say?
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. They keep
No, you're
making
fine.
it. They keep making
Mhm.
it. We're going to keep buying it.
Right. I feel like Scott Hall was one of those guys that I feel like just never really met his full potential. Even though I feel like he could have been that guy. Like if I feel like he would have got the same opportunities that Kevin Nash was fortunate enough to get, I really feel like Scott Hall could have ran with it for sure.
There's a list of names that you always see it. Who are the top 5 guys that were
Mhm.
should have won a world title and never did?
Oh
And
yeah, absolutely.
and at the top of my list is Scott Hall.
Yeah, for sure.
Agree.
Somebody could have gave him a run, won a world title.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I feel like he would have succeeded 100%.
Oh, he would have gained. He could have helped any company out.
Oh, absolutely.
Even AEW, Jay, today?
Maybe not. No.
So, so how long have you been wrestling? And who? I know who trained you, but I'm still going to ask us who trained you,
Mhm.
so that everyone else knows.
I started training March of 2021, and Invincible Vince Valor is my trainer. I have nothing but love and
Oh,
respect for that man. Nothing but love and respect.
that shithead.
Yeah,
He's been on the show a few times, and you know he's he's a real good guy. I'm glad to see that he's
it's great, great guy, great guy.
yeah.
To
So
do what he did for the likes of myself, as well as McCoy, one of the guys that I trained with as well, that came up right around the same time that I did. Actually, he started a couple months before I did. But what Vince did for us, it's unheard of. I've never seen anybody do it before, and I feel like now that wrestling's changed in a different direction for the better. Because I see it a lot lately, especially within the last like year. I feel like some close deaths have has caused in a good way wrestling for people to want to see the wrestling business strive better than it was when they first joined. So like Valor's like a top of my list for one of the guys that has gone over and beyond to make sure that he leaves this place better than it was when he came in. You know, what, about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, Vince is a member of the Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk family. He's top notch.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And it's good to see that he was cleared to wrestle again. So
Oh, absolutely.
fingers crossed. We're gonna we're gonna get him an APWF.
All right. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what other companies are? Yeah, what other companies? What companies do you currently work for, and do you have any championships under your belt?
Right now, some of the companies that I work for is Empire State Wrestling. They're based out of Buffalo. I wrestle for Excite Wrestling. They actually have two locations. They have the locations in Horsehead, New York, and then they also have their locations in Binghamton, New York. I also have gone over into different states as well as Canada. Um, I haven't actually wrestled on Neo, but I have been part of Neo doing like security and extra help and stuff like that for them there. I have wrestled in Greektown, run by the one and only hardcore Channing Decker. Nothing but love and respect for him as well.
Good deal.
Um, I wrestle for Extreme Force Wrestling. No, sorry. Extreme Wrestling Force. My apologies. EWF, as well as Ultimate Wrestling, where there I am the Phantom Champion. That currently is the only championship I have right now.
Oh, very cool. So have you ever wrestled in Pennsylvania?
I did. I wrestled Hayden Backlund at Pro Wrestling Rampage last year in May, I believe it was.
That's up in Erie, right?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
And then I did a little bit of stuff for Revenge, never like actually on the like show, but I've done a lot of help with helping out John McChesney and Aaron Draven. Now they're actually going in the direction of Big League Wrestling, which I'll be going up there this Saturday to be helping them out on May 4th.
Very cool.
Yes,
Very
sir.
cool. You
Larry,
know,
I'm Larry. I'm telling you, we gotta make a weekend in New York. Those
oh heck
those
yeah,
those feds are hopping up there.
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
it, it, it
wrestling is at its peak right now. It is at its absolute peak. There's so much wrestling right now. Wrestling is fun. Wrestling's cool again. Like I remember when I was in school growing up, like wrestling was cool if you were a wrestling fan. But if people didn't understand wrestling, you got picked on and stuff like that. And like, why are you watching that stuff as a kid? And then like as I've grown up and like started like actually doing it as an independent wrestler, like wrestling is just so hot right now.
Yeah, the hottest it's been in a very long time.
It's the
Yeah,
hottest.
very long time.
It's the hottest it's been in my opinion since the Attitude Era
Yeah.
or the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, that too. I feel like social media has also helped with wrestling going in a higher direction than it was in the Attitude because you just got to say back then they really didn't have, a lot of the stuff that we have these days.
Yeah, you could go that route. I tend to err on it's also hurt as much as it helped
Yeah.
because there's so much negativity.
Oh yeah, because
If
everybody's got an opinion, man. Everybody's got an opinion, which is okay with that. But sometimes, sometimes keeping your opinions to yourself is usually the best bet.
me and the King were just talking the other night. If you don't like it, change the fucking channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And before I move on and I forget,
Mhm.
as you know, I'm helping Bub out with APWF, and um, when Vince was asked about bringing some guys down, and
Mhm.
your name and McCoy's name, was he said those are my guys right now. So he's speaking very highly of you.
Yeah, nothing but love for Valor. One of the things that Valor's always been, and this is why I love Vince, as a person, as a worker, as a wrestler, as a brother. He's always said always that if he's eating, his boys are eating too. If he's putting food on his plate, he's also making sure that there's food on other people's plates. If he's sitting at the table, he's always making sure that there's a spot at the table. But he's also told you at the other side of it that if he pulls out the chair and gives it to you, like either sit in it or somebody else is going to sit in it.
Very,
That's
very, very well spoken.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you go on the road on the weekends and stuff, what's the
Mhm.
worst part about being on the road?
Nothing, absolutely nothing, really. I know it sounds weird saying that, but I love it. Because most of the time when I'm on the road traveling, it's usually me and a couple of the other guys are driving. But that's where memories are made, man. In the car rides, the 3 4 4 hour car rides there, or the 3 or 4 hour car rides home. Like the stories, the laughs, the jokes that are said in the car. Because like when you're in the car, man, it's nobody wants to talk about wrestling. Like we're on our way to wrestling, so it's just
Right.
just the boys being boys in the car. So like that's nice. To just kind of just have a chill couple hours before you get to the show. At the show, it's awesome to see friends and brothers and family that you haven't seen. Because sometimes everybody's got so much going on these days because of how hot wrestling is. There's sometimes where there's some weekends where there's 3 or 4 shows running on one day, and if it's not driving distance to do a double shot or something like that, there's a couple weekends here or there where like you might not see somebody, and then you get to see them at a show. It's nice to see them. And then for me, just being at the show, I don't care if I'm wrestling the show, if I'm working security on the show, I'm learning something. I'm either picking somebody's brain or listening in. I don't know how deep we want to get into this, but like I'll listen to like how people call matches and stuff so that I can learn. Like I'll just listen to how they call certain things or why they put something where they did, just so that I can keep a mental note. Like, oh, that's why they did that. So then when I watch them, perform in front of the fans, I know why they chose to do what they did, or you can see when like something was changed, and why they changed it.
Very cool. Now,
I,
I asked you what the worst part was. So
Mhm.
I know you just mentioned a lot of good things, but what would be the very best part about being on the road with the boys?
What's the best part about being on the road with the boys? Or
Yeah,
what's the worst part? Best part?
the best.
Uh, best part? Best part being on the show with the boys is just being with the boys. And I said, I don't know. It's listen to these documentaries and stuff. I think the one that really sticks out to me the most is like Edge. Like you hear Edge, he used to talk about how when they were in Canada, him and Christian and Rhino and a couple of other guys that were coming up at the time. Like they used to carpool in like 8, 9 people in a car and just make the rounds to the towns so they can go to the shows. I feel like that is where you really. Sorry about that. That's really I feel like where a lot of like the bonding comes from because I said nobody really wants to talk about wrestling when they're in the car ride on the way to a wrestling show. It's like because you're around wrestling all day long, and when you get to the venue and you're about to perform, some merch at your table and you're around the fans stuff, you're around that all day long. So those 3, 4 hours you're in the car ride on the ride to the show, or in the 3 or 4 hour car ride to wind down coming from home from the show. It's just cool to just chill with the boys and just talk about life and just make jokes and laugh.
Awesome. Jay, you have anything you want to add to that?
I just I just heard. Well, I've spoken to actually face to face with a couple of quote unquote legends, and then I've watched shoot interviews, and they said that the best parts were the car rides, where you could just
Absolutely.
hang out, drink a 6 pack if you wanted to. There'd be a bunch of guys in the car, and you could book the territory and bitch
Mm.
about whatever the hell was wrong. And if you didn't want to, you could talk about how big of a bitch your wife was, or
Yep.
somebody screwing you, or something like that. But I heard that the car rides were the best part about the business. So,
Yeah,
and that,
that's the sanctuary. Like
and
when
that,
whenever something like's going on in wrestling, oh, pulled my headphones, pulled my phone down. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
But like just like when there's stuff that that you shouldn't probably be talking about because we're in cancel culture these days. So like if you mention stuff, and then at the end of the day, we're all trying to get jobs, so you don't ever want to say anything bad about the product or anything like that because just you wouldn't say anything bad about your job if you were going to your 9 to 5. If your boss heard it, probably fire you. you know. So when you're in the car with the
I
boys,
know.
it's just
Yeah,
it's just a sanctuary where it's kind of just like it just kind of just stays in the car.
yeah, yep, absolutely. That coincides with what I've been told and what I saw
Mm.
and listened to. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So on June 23rd, when you come to Indiana, PA,
Hmm.
I don't know if you know this or not, but if you don't, you're going to know now. You are facing Matt McCoy.
Matt McCoy.
Yep.
Yes,
Any
sir.
thoughts on that?
Matt McCoy. Me and him are no strangers from one another. I think at this point we pretty much know each other like the back of our hands. So I know this one's going to be a tough go. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the challenge. I'm ready to show the fans what I got. And I'm ready to show McCoy that one way or another, we're getting buck wild.
Very cool.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic.
So so on the 23rd, on June 23rd, um, I mentioned a few of the guys that's on the show. EC3, obviously, big time Bill Collier.
Hmm.
All them. I'm sure you've seen the flyer going around,
Yep.
but who would you like to wrestle on that card in the future?
Big time Bill Collier.
Have you ever wrestled him?
I have not.
I think you can take him. I really do. I think you can take him.
He's gonna beat me up and knock me down a lot because he's probably about twice the size of me. But I can hold my own. I can hold my own. I've
Well,
been in there with some. I've been in the ring with some bigger guys, and I've come out on top. So I feel like you know I just use his strength against him slipping.
there you go. And if you want the upper hand, I got a little secret for you. He likes Wendy's or Arby's. I can't remember which one it was. So you
Oh,
get him some
it's
Arby's or
Arby's.
Wendy's before the show, you
It's
might have the
Arby's.
upper hand.
You get him some of that French onion dip. He loves that.
You know,
Uh,
I just spoke with Mr. Big Time the other day, and we talked about how we should just change the name of our podcast to the Big Time Bill Podcast because everybody that comes on puts him over like $1 million.
Oh, bro, I have nothing but great things to say about Bill. I love Bill. I
Yeah.
feel like Bill is just as much of an influence on my wrestling career as Vince Balor.
Okay.
very cool. And Bill's from our hometown, so Jay has known him longer than I have, but we're all friends. He's been on the show many times.
Okay.
But he's a good dude, and I'm sure he's going to hear about you calling him out for in the future.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Wait, hold on a second. But Mr. Buck Wild did not call him out. You set him up for that. You piece of garbage.
Well, all right, maybe a little bit.
That's okay.
So, yeah, who's your favorite wrestler right now?
My favorite wrestler right now,
Or all time, it doesn't matter.
all time, Kurt Angle.
Oh, I wasn't
100%
expecting that.
Kurt Angle.
Okay.
I always loved the fact that Kurt Angle could literally go on the camera and make a complete ass of himself. Make all the jokes, whatever, to make it just to get himself over as the heel. But as soon as that bell rang, that mother effer could go. And could go the distance. I don't think there's too many of them that could literally, at the drop of a hat, like he could, go from making themselves look like a complete fool to that bell ringing and going, whoa, don't mess with that guy.
All right. Jay, was you surprised at that answer? I was.
Not actually, no.
No?
I bet you there's a lot of people that think that about Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
When his I don't want to say nickname,
Oh yeah.
when they were calling him the machine, that was no bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he could him and Lesnar were just two different breeds. Like they were shooters, like legit shooters. They didn't have an off switch. They didn't know how to go out there and just have an off night. Those guys went 0 to 100 and put their bodies through hell every single night.
Yeah, up to and including Mania 19 when Brock almost killed himself.
Yeah.
So
and Kurt wrestling that match with a broken neck too.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, that man is insane.
Yes. What was you going to say, Jay?
So flip the coin. Who's your favorite wrestler right now, currently?
Right now?
Yeah. You asked the question. It deserves to be thrown back to you.
All right. Past, present, or like right now?
Wait, currently. Modern era.
Ooh. Man. I would have to say, could it be female?
If you want it to be.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to. I can't just name one person. It's gonna have to be the bloodline right now.
The current bloodline?
Like, not the old bloodline.
With Roman and the Usos.
Yes.
With Roman and the Usos.
Yeah, not Solo and Tama Tonga.
No, but it's getting interesting, boys. It's getting interesting.
It's getting.
Oh, it is. It is.
And
I'm
there's
trusting
many
the
more.
process with what they're doing right now.
Yes,
Exactly.
there's many more Samoans to come.
That's what we
Oh, yeah.
hear.
And I hope we get Jacob Fatu soon.
I wouldn't be
That would be
surprised if it
crazy,
wasn't tonight.
You think it might be tonight?
right?
It could be.
All right. So, Buck Wild, are you a WWE guy or AEW guy?
I'm an all-around wrestling guy. I watch. I watch when I can. I have a very busy schedule myself. Between having two kids myself, and then wrestling on the weekends, and then I also have to keep up with going to the gym and going to training on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, which I train for about 3 hours on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. So I try to watch as much as I can when I can. There's a lot of times where I can't keep up with all of it, but if like tonight, Monday night, I'll have Raw on. Friday, I watch SmackDown. I follow AEW on Facebook, so if I can't watch it live, I will go back and watch some things. I did go back and watch that Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson match. That was nuts.
Match of the year.
That was nuts.
For
That
sure.
was nuts.
So, do you have, other than wrestling, do you have any hobbies?
I like to play video games. I'm a huge Madden head. I used to play Call of Duty a lot, but now more of my friends play Fortnite, so I kind of sway towards that way. Plus, now with my schedule, I just don't have the time to grind on Call of Duty anymore. It's just too much. It's too much. I like to be able to just kind of just have a couple hours to just unwind and not really have to worry about, oh, I got to get this gun or oh, the meta's this gun. Yeah, I don't have time for that anymore.
Right. So we got a comment, and it's from the APWF owner, Bad Bubba Brewer. He says, "Buck Wild, welcome to the APWF."
Thank you for having me, brother. Glad to be here.
Have you ever met Bubba before?
I don't think I have yet.
Okay. You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat.
I like
he
treats.
he he's a stand up son of a bitch. That guy.
Absolutely, a great guy.
Awesome.
Great
Awesome.
guy. So, you know, every podcast I ask these stupid questions, and you can answer them if you want. You can laugh. You can tell whatever you want to do. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food? Pizza.
Ah, this goes right into the next question. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not. No way.
What
That's a
about
that's a fight in our household.
oh, what about pickled pizza?
I don't think I've ever had pickle pizza.
Oh man.
No, I lie. I lie. I did have, what was it? I don't remember where we went. I think it was a pizza place in Syracuse, but it had bacon, ranch, and it had deep fried pickles on it.
Oh my Lanta.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean it wasn't terrible. Wasn't terrible.
Okay.
But at the
Larry
same
knows.
time, I really don't. I don't know. I'm more of a supreme guy. I like a little banana pepper, a little sausage, little peppers, stuff like that. I think that's probably about where I cut the line, though. No
Oh,
anchovies or any of that stuff. I'm all right with all of that.
I'm a big pickle pizza guy. I love pickle pizza.
Larry
Okay.
loves pickles. 9 times out of 10, he eats them from the long end. I don't know why.
You know who else loves pickles? Matt McCoy. Matt McCoy loves picklebacks. It's literally his
Really?
favorite drink. It's his favorite
Oh,
drink.
okay.
All right. Well,
And I'm not opposed to that.
sorry, Jay.
He
You've been
loves
replaced as,
picklebacks.
as my. I got a new best friend in Matt McCoy.
I'll step down. I've been looking for that opportunity for 30 goddamn years.
Bubba says, "Thank you. Can't wait. No, we never met. So very cool. Glad that
We
Bubba
will
was
soon.
able to pop on. All right. Okay. So, being from New York, what's your
Hmm.
favorite chicken wing flavor?
Uh, well, I do like hot. Don't get me wrong, but when I'm trying to enjoy a meal, I like to be able to enjoy it. So I go with a little more medium when I'm eating like it's a meal. If it's just like a wings and like I want a bit of a spice, I'll go hot or I'll try whatever hot flavor they have. But for the most part, just medium.
Blue cheese or ranch?
So weird story. I used to hate blue cheese. Hated it. I always used to be a ranch guy. And then about 2 months ago, I broke my nose in a match, and it kind of messed with my sinuses a little bit. So now, like certain blue cheeses, I don't mind them. It's weird. I don't know why.
Blue cheese is good, brother. Oh
that's
man,
that's my go-to, man. I love it.
chunkier the
Yeah.
better.
And the bigger the chunks, the better the dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really mess too much with the chunky. If it's got a little bit in it, like we were just at Vinny's this last weekend, I got some chicken wings. Didn't bother me too much the blue cheese. I actually really liked it. I know the Buffalo River works. I don't mind their blue cheese either. There are some blue cheeses where like I still get like that hint that's just like, oh no, no, I can't do
So, how
that.
long does it take for your nose to heal up completely?
It's still broken, but it's not like broken enough where like I can't perform. I still wrestle every weekend. I just have like a little chip right here at the bridge of my nose where you can feel where the bone's gone, and it's never gonna come back. I don't know where it went, and I don't know. I have no idea.
But
It's just
you
gone.
can still breathe through your nose.
Yep, I can still breathe and everything. Right after I broke
Okay.
it, the doc at the show said it, and once the swelling went down, it looked good enough that I just didn't go to the doctor to get it looked at because I didn't think they were going to do anything for me anyways.
Yeah,
Jay,
there's not
on
much you
the
can.
23rd, Jay, we're gonna have to look for that little chip form that's missing. We're gonna have to look for it.
Well, I'll put my investigative hat on, and we'll go find that chip. By
Yeah,
God,
I guarantee you, it probably went up and I probably swallowed it. It's
I'm
probably
think
gone.
I'm thinking you swallowed it, and then
Yeah,
maybe a number two took care of it, but we don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Somebody else has it.
I'm not. I'm no. If it's one thing I'm not, it's not a detective.
Right.
We don't talk number twos on this podcast because of Vince McMahon. He
Yeah,
ruined it.
well, he shits on everything.
Uh, what's your favorite drink?
Like beverage wise,
Yeah,
for like
when,
non-alcoholic or alcoholic.
whatever
But
you want to tell us.
All right. For the most part, I usually just drank water. Especially like right now because I'm trying to lean up for the summertime. But I do dabble in Mountain Dew every once in a while. I love Dr Pepper. Um, I tried Prime about 2 weeks ago. I was just at the store the one day and was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. And I'm not going to lie, I am addicted to them. If I go to a gas station on wrestling weekend and there's Prime in the cooler, I'm buying at least two or three of them.
you know how many dollars that son of a bitch has made off
Yeah,
of us
yeah,
wrestling people?
he's made a lot of money.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's
And
your
but
favorite sport?
so boozy wise,
I love Yingling. But for the most part, I usually just go with Budweiser, and then when I'm really cutting, I'll go with Michelob Ultra.
We have to find somebody that drinks Natty Daddies. We have to find somebody that drinks that.
apparently there's a bunch of people that drink it because there's sometimes I go into stores and I can't find it. But I ain't seen a son of a bitch walking around with a can of Natty Daddy anywhere.
Oh
It's because you
no,
can't buy them all.
I tried a Natty Daddy about 10 years ago, and it was probably the nastiest thing I've ever had in my life. The
Well,
only thing I've ever had that was nastier than that was Red Dog. Red Dog is disgusting.
oh, see, I loved Red Dog too.
Oh oh, it's so bad. Nope.
you gotta get yourself what's this? Richard Lutz. natty daddies are foul.
Are
You gotta
foul.
you gotta get
Amen.
yourself you gotta get yourself used to them. That's
Yeah.
all. And after the third one, who gives a shit?
Oh man. So we're winding down here, Buck Wild. So what can we look forward to on the 23rd? Seeing you in the ring. What what are we gonna see?
Well, when I show up, and I'm going to be going 1-on-1 against one of my brothers, Matt McCoy. But when we show up in that ring, we're not brothers; we're competitors. And I'm coming in there trying to win. I'm coming in there trying to prove something. I'm coming to show that you guys bringing me in there was not a mistake. And Matt McCoy, he already knows because we've done this before, and this time around it's going to be no different. I say all the time, I'm one of those guys that I get knocked down, but I get back up again. And when I get back up, I get buck wild, and I mean it.
Oh shit! I heard a little song lyrics in there. I get
Yeah,
knocked down, but I get up again. Chumbawamba,
good,
Jay.
good old Chumbawamba. I've
Oh
used it
no,
before, but it still fits. It still works.
it still works when it comes out of your mouth. When he just went to say Wamba, Jesus Christ, those lips got stuck on those teeth. Holy hell!
So what's your theme music? Your entrance music?
Right now, I am using Upchurch and Damon Jones.
Okay.
What is the name of the song? I can't remember the name of the song off the top of my head.
Well, he was going to use
Which is
Wamba until you fucking fucked that up.
yeah. No, I think there's actually deathmatch wrestling GCW that uses that music as well. So out of respect for him, I would never use it.
Right? I didn't.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Well, Jay doesn't know anything about respect, so you don't have to worry about that.
Well, no, I'm running my yap.
But Jay, do you have any questions you want to ask him?
I think he said it all.
He did.
He said it all. It's going to be a pleasure to meet you on the 23rd. And
same to you guys as well.
And watching you get down to business. We're going to be down there. We're going to be doing a few broadcasts, and we'd love to have you on for just like 30 seconds. You
absolutely
come over and talk about your match, talk about whatever the hell you want. But
we got something planned. Me, Bubba, and the rest of the APWF guys. We got something planned that I think that we're going to do there. So it's going to be interesting. But
I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So any of your fans up in New York, make sure you come down to Indiana, Pennsylvania, June 23rd. It's going to be one hell of a show with your boy Buck Wild and Matt McCoy, EC3, Bill Collier. I mean, we got a shitload of talent on here.
I'm one of the guys that you met when you were mentioning at the beginning of the podcast that were coming up from around where I'm at is one of the guys' names is Price Puregold. He's going to be in the tag match, teaming up with Spencer Slade against the main event.
Yes, yeah. I knew I was forgetting somebody. I apologize.
Yep. No, not at all.
No disrespect. There's so many big names.
There's tons. This card is going to be loaded, top to bottom. To bottom.
Any of your fans planning on coming down for the show? Do you know?
I'm not sure if anybody from around here so far. I have been pushing the show. I have been advertising it on my Facebook. I do know that when I was going out to Erie and stuff like that, and going to do PWR and some shows like that, I do have a little bit of a following out there. So I'm just looking forward to just coming out there and having a good time. And if people don't know me, they will when I show up there.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, Buckwild, pleasure was all ours having you on the show. We liked talking wrestling with you, and even though you don't like pineapple on pizza, you're still a swell guy.
I appreciate that.
Well,
Thank you for having me, guys.
he doesn't like pineapple on pizza, nor does he like Natty Daddy. I don't know that I want this guy back on the show.
He's always welcome on the show.
Brother, anytime you want to come on and promote or just shoot the shit about the wrestling business, you're more than welcome.
Absolutely, guys. Whenever you guys, want me to come back on, I'm more than welcome to come back on. I've had nothing but good time on here with you guys, talking wrestling and getting to know you guys, and I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in June when I come up there for the show.
All right,
Absolutely.
it was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Same back to you guys as well. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
And there you have it, Jay. We just went buck wild. Learned
with Buck Wild.
With Buck Wild, yes. We went buck wild with Buck Wild.
Yes.
How many people can say that? Not too many.
I can't believe too many. No.
But it's going to be very, very interesting to see. Like he said, wrestling his brother Matt McCoy, which he wrestled before. But once they get in between them ropes, that's all out the door.
And I believe that to be the case.
And I'm sticking to my story. I'm going to tell Big Time Bill Collier, you set him up, not me, because I don't want nothing to do with that. With either of the boys.
All right.
Buck Wild, he's going to go buck wild on me if I set him up. And then, big time, I'm screwed there too. So, yeah, it was all you, guy.
All I got to do is slip Buck Wild 100. Yeah. And
he's not
I'll have you
out loud. The last time you slipped 100 was on the stripper pole.
Yeah, and I never saw it again, and neither did she.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, that is it for Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk and APWF Wrestling. Again, June 23rd at the S&T Bank Arena in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Make sure you check it out. And we got the some of the guys on the show there. Also, a meet and greet that starts around 2 p.m. with EC3. Make sure you check it out. And I'm going to try and get a couple more of the people that's going to be on the show, maybe next week, to be on the podcast. I'm going to try and get McCoy, that Hergold, because we haven't seen them guys yet personally. So, would like to get to know them a little bit before we see them on the 23rd.
Right. Get your tickets now. APWFwrestling.com. Is that correct?
Oh, look at you. You can't remember what you did 5 minutes ago, but you remember a website that I told you 20 days ago.
Well, whatever I did 5 minutes ago wasn't as important as APWFwrestling.com.
That's right. All right, guys. As always, we end the show. Shitheads, top guys, out.